while you're getting your coffee.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome
We're
back to the Library of Alexandria or whatever. And I'm Alan, and there's Anitha and Sarah. And if y'all don't know them, go click on their dang channels in the description and go follow them. My freaking coffee.
Sarah, your friend, because we're friends now. We've renewed our friendship.
Did we? Didn't I cancel it right
in
afterwards?
person?
Yeah, I know. But didn't you do something with there and I canceled it? You did something.
No, you had the best day of your life. It was amazing.
It was fun. That is true. No, you screwed me in 7 Wonders. You knew what it was.
I didn't. I just won, and you were mad about it. But it's okay to not win.
Because you screwed me. You buried the gold. You buried the only thing I could use to build my freaking last stage of my wonder. Like, you buried it.
It was the last round, Alan. You had a chance. You had a chance to buy it. You could have taken it the first time it went around. But I thought, Alan didn't take it. I guess he doesn't want it.
You buried it. What do you mean we're starting early? We're late. But I'm always late. I don't know. Like, guys, if you show up to a live stream, it's going to be late. I'm going to start late. So that's how I roll, y'all. So Sarah is my enemy because she purposely buried the thing I needed to build the last stage of my crappy roadside B wonder.
Right. First, my husband sabotaged you when he was picking the wonders.
Yeah. He gave me the crappiest one. And then
that's
you're over there.
Andrew was definitely pro Alan because you guys both ganged up on me in
That's true.
Smash Up.
Well, you were sitting there rocking freaking like, what'd you have? Giza? No. What'd you have?
Did I know it wasn't Giza?
Byzantium. You had Byzantium.
I did. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Alchemy Masques and Mirrors. This is the where are you? Actually, that's a good point, Evie. Sarah, where are you? Yes.
I'm in my kitchen. I'm in my kitchen because my downstairs computer is not available right now.
Word. Anyway, we're going to talk about Alchemy, Masques and Mirrors. So Sarah and I may or may not be friends. We'll see. But so this is the first book in the Risen Kingdoms for the second read-along of my year of trilogy read-alongs or whatever. And this is going really well. And people like this book too. No one hated it. Like, I don't know anybody that hated it. There are some people who didn't like the very beginning, which is fine. I understand that. But yeah, so we can give some non-spoiler thoughts and then I'm going to go get coffee. But so non-spoilery, what did you guys think of the book? I'm going to turn it up really loud so I can hear it from the kitchen because I'm running to the kitchen to get coffee. Anitha, what do you think, like, non-spoilery thoughts about the book?
Okay. Initial 100 pages were rough for me. Especially first 2-3 chapters, it reminded me of Emperor's Blades. How Isabel's father was. I'm glad we moved out of that location. So it suddenly improved a lot for me, and I liked both the main characters. That's my favorite part. Both Isabel and Jean-Claude, their bond instead of. Romantic bond with the bodyguard father-daughter relationship is really refreshing, and I really like a magic system. It's cool, actually, more than the blood hollowing thing. I like this glass walking thing, like very cool to come and kill. For assassinations, it is very cool. Overall, I really liked. The political intrigue, the mystery. The more I got into the book, I liked it more. I think I gave it 4.25 stars.
Nice. I also liked it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, only because I expect that I'm going to like the future ones even more. I really liked it, but it did feel like there was a lot of setup. It took a while to get to where it was going, at least for me. And I think part of it was probably also that I was reading it on vacation and I was really tired. And so it felt like it was taking forever to get through the beginning of the book. And I was like, oh gosh, this is so slow. But then when it did get into it, it was really good. And I agree. I really liked the platonic relationships that were in the book, because you don't get to see those explored as often. And I'm hopeful that we're going to get even more in terms of like exploring friendships and those kinds of things in future installments. The magic was really cool. I agree that it was really fun to watch the how like the different types of magic work and how that dictates what kind of kingdom you're in and what happens in the kingdom and all those kinds of things. So it was really fun. Probably my main complaint, and it's only because I had this expectation, is I thought it was going to be more like swashbuckly. I was expecting more like of a greatcoats kind of vibe with like more fights, and there were like some fights and stuff, but I was expecting more of that than I got. So I think I just had to like bring in my expectations, and now I'm really excited for the next one.
I don't know what y'all said. Recap it. I couldn't hear it because guess what? It did it again. Because you want to know why?
Oh, no.
My coffee pot doesn't raise up the stupid thing to have. I don't know why it doesn't raise up the thing. You know, the coffee, because you know when your pot's under it, it raises it up. So when you pull it out, it doesn't leak everywhere. But apparently, like it won't do it if it's like all the way in. So I have to like sit freaking jagged off of the dang. Like, why would I have it sitting? Who knows? Who knew that was a feature of my coffee machine that I had to like have it not centered so the freaking stuff just stays up in the top, and so it becomes just like this freaking sludge, like a crap. Never mind. It's about to spoil some stuff. Anyway, yeah. Anita, what did you say? Just
We already talked about it in the
I
voice
know.
chat
I
other
didn't
day.
hear it, Anita.
I mean, I'm reminding you, you know my thoughts already. I like the magic system. It's very cool, especially that glass walking. I loved the characters. I mean, both Isabel and Jean Claude. The confidence they have in each other's abilities. And, you know, Jean Claude encourages her to take care of herself, to save herself instead of like overprotecting her, instead of like,
Yes,
you
that
know,
was really good.
okay, I'll come and save you. He'll encourage her to think and save herself. I really, really love that.
Yeah, it was not at all like a patronizing older man, younger woman relationship, which was definitely refreshing.
And he encourages, I mean, she has that, you know, she is intelligent, obviously. She has that uh, curious brain. He cultivates that. I really like that.
Yeah. No. And my 1 second recap was I did find the beginning slow, probably because I was really tired when I was reading it. And then I liked it more and more as it went on. I'm excited for book 2. Pippa needs to come in. I'll be right back.
All right.
The stream of, you know, breaks.
This is unprofessional what we're doing. All right. I guess it's my turn. Well, I got to wait till Sarah gets back so I can browbeat her for her opinion. So you people in the chat, how did you enjoy it? So we got some. Hold on, we got some warned that the beginning was going to be rough. Read the beginning. So this is where I was, Matt. I did not suffer in the beginning. I was told that it was a struggle, but I didn't suffer in the beginning. The beginning felt very. First of all, it's very, very French, and it's very, very French, and I guess like I was okay with that. Like I hate you know, the French aren't my favorite, but like I was able to figure like a lot of the buzzwords were just like, oh, this is airship mumbo jumbo, and then a whole bunch of like place names. Like I don't know what this is. Like later on in the book, I had to go reread parts of the first chapter, like how Jean Claude became the King's Musketeer. Like it helps that I knew that I literally had read something recently that had oh no, it's in crossword puzzles. I do crossword puzzles all the time, and that one of the clues is always like it's always some word for king. It's always either Ray in Spanish or Roy in French. So I can understand that if you did not know that Leroy meant the king, like who are they talking? Like why do they keep saying Leroy? Like why do they keep saying Leroy? Is this some weird French Leroy? Is that what this is? Like I don't know how. Like, but I knew it was talking about the king.
I also really like that you're calling it Leroy.
As opposed to okay, listen. Okay, let's go ahead and start. It's Le Empire. It's Celestine. It is Leroy. It is what else? Jean Claude. Isabel. Hold on. The what is the word? Because it's Duke. I'm not going to say whatever word it is. What word was it? What is the actual word? What do they call him? What do they call the Duke? Her dad. What is his title's name?
I can't
I don't
remember
remember.
now. It's been a month, Alan. It's been a month.
I don't have
can't
the book
remember.
on me, or I'd freaking look. Someone tell me what that guy's title name is. It's Duke. Oh no, sorry. It's Count. I'm not going to say Comte. It's Count.
Oh, right.
I'm not going to say Comte. I'm going to say the Count de Zephyrs. So let's go ahead and get all of the making fun of the pronunciation out now, so I don't have to revisit it this entire time. Leroy, Count de Zephyrs, Jean-Claude, L'Empire, Celestine, Emperor Celeste, or sorry, Saint Celeste. What else? The sanguine, whatever, sanguine things, whatever their stupid family name is. We're just gonna go ahead and get that all out. And guess what? When we get over to freaking Aragut or whatever it is, it's El Rey, and it's Julio, and it's what else? Diego, and let me see what else.
Actually, audiobook narrator also called L'Empire, Celestine, all these except Count. That he called
That's the one French pronunciation that got through.
Count. Anyway, so like I literally, like, that's why I couldn't even remember it, because I would just read it and I would just convert, boop, count, moving it on. So anything else, Sarah? Would you like to tell me how they're supposed to be pronounced before I promptly ignore it?
No, I like it this way.
How is it supposed to be? How are we supposed to say the Zephyrs? How's it supposed to be? In Quebec.
Oh my God, in Quebec. Well, I don't speak that kind of French.
Well, is it Devefil, Devefil, Isabelle, or Laon, or Lampard?
You know,
Right?
while listening to the narration, because all these words are new to me, I practiced saying them. Now, because of Alan, now everything out. I don't know how to pronounce them now anymore. Everything is muddled.
Chandragupta, that's his name. That's the founder of the Mauryans. Chandragupta.
It's
And Taurus.
okay. This I know. This is
It's what? It's what?
Chandragupta.
What did I say? Chandragupta. That's his name.
Okay.
Identical. You can't tell the difference.
I know. Like, I don't know what y'all's problem is.
It's not
This is
dra.
why people have you
It's
narrating
soft
audiobooks,
D.
Alan.
Dra.
It's what?
It's not Chandra. Not. It's a soft.
Hey,
D.
Anita, let me ask you a
Chandra.
question. Did I correct your pronunciation of all the freaking Roman names when we were talking about the Cicero trilogy? Did I do that? Did I say, well, actually, it's pronounced Lutatius Catalus? Did I do that? No, I didn't. I said, you know what?
So I wore my
But it's
glasses.
fun to
specifically
correct
so I
you,
could do that.
actually.
So, Jean Sarah, how is it pronounced? Let me know. How is Leroy pronounced? Because I'm about to say Leroy again. I need to know just so I can. What?
Wow.
What?
There's no.
That's
There's
because
no
Saint
oi.
Picaro every
There's
time.
no oi
Now it's
sound.
annoying. What? So, how do you say Leroy?
Le roi.
Leroy?
No, I cannot say it. Oh, even if you pay me, I cannot say it.
Leroy?
This is like the.
No,
this
hold
is
on.
like the.
So, hold on. So get on to me. So I guess you're not going to say Grand Leon either. Is it Grand Leon?
I won't. I will not say it. No, I won't. That sounds like a cough. It does. It does sound like a cough.
Is it Grand Leon?
You know what? You know why you can't pronounce this? Because you didn't read Empire of the Vampire. If you had read that, you'd know how to speak French, because that's what that book teaches you.
So we are 15 minutes into this stream, and I have not talked about this book once.
Okay,
So-
let's talk about it. I like Leroy. We'll go with it.
Look, I'm Leroy and Grand Leon. Anyway, the beginning of the book. I don't know. I've played a lot of like video games. Like the beginning like I've read books where there's a ton of buzzwords that really confuse me. Exactly. Who knows, Kyle? We yeah. So I don't know. It didn't bother me as much, and I think it's just
I'm
because
really sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but Matt almost made me spit my water out through my nose. So
is that what they sound like? Do they go?
yeah, when they're chasing you.
Hold on. Do your geese just go le honk, le honk? Like, do they not just honk? Like, there's no way geese honk in French. There's no way. They just go honk, honk. They don't go honk, honk, le honk, le honk. And they don't have little bird berets walking around. Le honk.
Yeah.
If someone is offended by my pronunciation, people can pronounce English words bad all day. And guess what? I'm not going to be like, well, the crown disagrees. How dare you, sir? Like,
Alan,
I don't care.
Alan, the stream is already non-EU friendly, at least.
How is it not EU friendly? When did I say I hate y'all? When did I say I hate the EU? I'm just talking about, like, I'm not going to say La Roi. I'm going to say Leroy. Anyway.
Oh, I can't even say it.
Yeah, if you take a loaf of bread and you break it up, they won't eat it. They only take baguettes or croissant to break it up. You throw them little
like that the video. Croissant.
Yeah, croissant. All right. Anyway. I don't know why this beginning didn't bother me. I like, again, I had to go read back like how Jean-Claude became a musketeer, because it was like, if only I hadn't done this and then this and then this. And I'm like, I don't know what any of these places are. But so I really Alchemy of Masques. It is what I want you to read. So you probably shut the door. All right, sorry. Christina would really like this book because it is low on vulgarity and low on. I mean, there's some gross stuff in it. We'll talk. Y'all remind me. Someone remind me. Please remind me about the gross thing, because I literally reading this book, I went, and I rarely do this, but I audibly went, like my kids were taking a test, and I went, and my like lip turned up, and they just looked up. I'm like, y'all ignore me. I went, anyway, I'm so tired. I have so much brain fog. I really like this book. I thought the political intrigue is really well done. Like, I think he does it better than a lot of people that try to do political intrigue, because I thought it was really, really nuanced, as opposed to like I didn't think it was ham-fisted. I like that there's a bunch of different factions vying for a bunch of different things that may or may not, like, align with this thing. There's a path for this, and I like Grand Leon. I thought Leon's I believed, like, it's one of these things where we're told, how terrifying a character is, or how smart a character is, or how, like, far thinking a character is. But I really did believe the king, like, was, he was playing a different game than these other chumps. Like, he was playing a different game. And so I did really like that. It just seemed well handled, and there was a mystery, which I loved. And so I never got the feeling that it wasn't swashbuckling. It did feel great coatsy to me, where they're trying to figure out what's going on. I think it would have felt more if we were in, if it was just like first person. I think the distance separated. I do like there was a difference between Jean-Claude's POVs and Isabel's POVs. Like, Jean-Claude is always, he just thinks about things differently than Isabel. And Isabel's is much more educated than Jean-Claude's. Like, how can I stab this person? Like, who do I gotta stab this gun? And he's but yeah, I loved it. I thought Jean-Claude was fantastic. Just like you guys said, the older mentor, the like father-daughter kind of relationship between those two was really, really good. It wasn't patronizing. I love that he cultivates Isabel's curiosity, especially since women studying maths is literally against the law. Like, it's against the law for them women folk to learn about all that adding. Like, the women, it will hurt your brain if you understand how this multiplication works. Guillaume, his brother Guillaume. So, she's told that, you can't. It'll hurt your head. It'll hurt your brain. And she's like, all right, well, then I'm going to learn how to freaking do this. And she's brilliant. She's like physicist. Like, I love that she's a physicist. So it's really, really cool. But yeah, I really liked it. And the mystery kept going. Like, even when some of it is revealed, we're like, oh, okay, well, this is what's going on. You're still like, okay, well, what else is going on? And I mean, I agree, Pete. Like, I liked the beginning. Some people didn't, that's fine. But it's yeah. Sorry, I'm reading these comments. But it was really good. There was not a lot of sailing on the airships. That is true. And so I can see how, if you thought there were going to be more airships. But I also thought that the world was really well developed. Like, I believed all that techno mumbo jumbo about how the airships stay afloat and how they navigate. Like, I didn't chase the thread too hard. I was like, cool, buzzwords about navigation and how the things stay afloat. What is an iferosphere? Who knows? I'm going to consider it the gyroscope and move on. So yeah, I really liked it. Like, I read most of the book in 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I read the majority of the book after having read, only like 100 pages in a week, basically. And then I hit it and I couldn't put it down. I was so interested in seeing what happened next. And I was so invested in what happened to Isabel. And, I like that she doesn't get by, because, like, in other books, she's not only brilliant, but she's also, like, hot. So why use your brilliance when you can just use your feminine wiles? No, she's forced to rely on the fact that she's forced to rely on her cunning, because she is considered an abomination, because the builder would not allow, a child like that to be born if she wasn't like the breakers get. Yeah. I also learned what made a leg means. It's the sticking the leg forward bow that, they do in those movies, you know what I'm talking about, where the leg is forward and they do the deep bow. I didn't know that was called make a leg. So
me neither.
Yes, there were some horror elements for sure. The cantilever. I just say cantilever. So, what else? The magic system is freaking awesome. I like how each country has its own nobles have its own magic system. We only see 2 in this. We see the blood shadow people, and we see the
glass walking.
The glass walking, and then we hear about Golden Tongue, which are the people who can, like, change your memory, which, talk about an OP freaking power. You can change people's memories by talking at them. Like, we're going to see that. I don't know if that's America that has that one, because it's clearly France and Spain, right? In the age of exploration that we're doing this, like, clearly.
Yeah.
And, so the Golden Tongues are probably the Brits. They're probably the Brits, because they talk about how France is late to the colonization game, like Spain, and I think the Brits are over there colonizing or whatever. Anyway, so we're still talking not spoilers. What other thoughts you guys have on anything else before we, can move on?
And the world, actually, in terms of what is that? Environment is it. He gave us some hints. They talked about bubble. What is that word? There is one term for that, which is dangerous if they fall into that. And they also
the miasma.
Yeah.
So creepy.
I can't calling it now. Guaranteed we see more from the miasma. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
And he also talked about some kind of chemicals in the air where people get sick. I think we'll also see more about that.
Yeah, that's when the miasma rises too high, and, like, everyone has to take shelter. They have to take shelter to higher ground, because that, like, green mist stuff is, like, coating the lower levels, and people get sick.
What do they do if they're stuck in airship when miasma comes?
Oh, the airship can raise altitude. The airship's fine. You just don't want to be stuck on the ground, like on the ground of the island, the ground floor of the island, I guess. Yeah, because someone's cheesed off because the miasma, like, got their loved one or whatever, and so they're cheesed off. Some from rando. Oh yeah, that dude at the wharf. Like, screw that guy. Thoughts, Sarah?
No, they're mostly the same. I do think that the the voice was really strong because you can, like you said, you can open it up and without having either Jean-Claude or Isabel on the page, you can tell whose chapter it is just based on how it's written and what's happening and how it's structured, which is hard to do. So I thought
Yeah.
that was really good.
And I love their priesthood, which is like, I love clockwork stuff. I've said that before, which is, yeah, I love clockwork stuff. And so seeing that, like, the priests go through I forget what the ritual's called, but they become closer to their god, the builder, by replacing part of their bodies with like robotic stuff, which is very similar to something that I myself am writing. And I'm like, oh, look at that. That's cool. I am doing something similar. But I love it. I love how, their insignia is like a cog, and it's their god is the builder who I guess built the world. And the wrong Latin in this, what is it? The primus mundi, which I guess means first. In Latin, it would mean first of the world. I think it's supposed to be first world, but I don't know why mundi is plural or genitive. Like, why is it not primus mundus? Like, why not just do primus mundus? I don't know. But the primus mundus, so that's the original world that the builder built, and then it got broken by Eve. I don't know what her name is. Like, you know who we're talking about, though. Eve, who betrayed. She stole the secret of life from the builder, and broke the primus mundi, and that's why.
That's why entire gender, women are cursed to. I mean that go through that pain of giving birth. That's
Yeah. Oh, Pete agrees with the political intrigue, and Sal, I agree. Like, I love that this was like very what is that period called? Like I don't know, French Revolution, France, like that similar period. Like the 1600s France, like that's what it felt like. So it wasn't, and that is rare. Like, usually steampunk, anything steampunk influence is always like kind of an English, quasi English setting.
Always rare, yeah.
So like I kind of liked that it was French, and then the opposite. Like, I was expecting, someone look up Ataturk or whatever the other kingdom's name is. I was expecting to be it to be the Brits, but then I'm like, oh wait, no, like they're saying El Rey. No, it's the Spanish. Yay, with Julio and Margareta or whatever. Oh, I agree. Oh, illustrations? Heck yeah. That would have been
a great illustrated version.
Oh man, that would be awesome. But yeah, the world is really, really cool. And yeah, the voice was really strong. I felt bad for Isabel, but what I liked is that Isabel rarely felt bad for herself. She didn't sit around feeling bad. And one of the things I love is that this idea about, she kind of misses being a freak, like, because there's this arranged marriage where now all of a sudden she's going to be important, and so everyone wants something for her, and she misses when everyone thought she was an abomination because they left her alone, and she got to like do her maths and do her physics, and she got to do the things she wanted to do, and now all of a sudden everyone likes her, but it's just like, all these people keep bothering me. Like, can I go back to my room and like not have to do this stupid crap? Like, yeah, yeah, for sure. But she did not sit around and wallow in self-pity. I will say, yes, it's Aragoth. Thank you, Sal. It is really gross. Like, every time, it's not this is gross. It's the fact that he kept saying worm finger. Like, the term worm finger is gross for me. It's like, stop saying worm finger. Just say her finger. I know which finger it is. Stop saying her worm finger.
Right. You can definitely get an undulates in there. I feel like worm fingers definitely undulate.
Yeah, it's just so yucky. It just feels like it's like, like doesn't have any bones in it. It's just like a piece of limp spaghetti. Like, that's just gross. Stop saying worm finger.
I have a phobia about all worms, so I actively skip that actually. Oh, okay, don't think about it, Anita. Don't think about it, Anita. Alan is like, putting images on my head now.
Literally did the action.
So I love at the beginning in the first chapter is Isabel's being born, and then the second chapter she's 12, and then chapter 3 is 12 years in the future, and she's 20 and she's 24. And I like that we get to see Jean-Claude who he is in his prime, and then we see in the second chapter where,
oh my god,
like that like we're spoiling stuff for just the second chapter, like that's it. So I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled for like chapter 1 and 2, you can go. We're not talking series or book spoilers, but like it is like, where does that stuff come from? It's like Moses and Ramesses, escaping from the Egyptian palace and Prince of Egypt, and they're running around and doing the chariot race and getting into trouble. And I like that Jean-Claude is out of sight, but always kind of keeping an eye on them to make sure that they're taken care of, and he's more of a dadder than obviously the Comte is. But then Jean-Claude's error that he doesn't see, like that he fails to protect, Marie, where freaking that blood shadow stuff is so creepy.
Very creepy.
God, that, I mean, I was so shocked. I had tears in my head. Oh my god, it suddenly turned. It was so dark. I mean, immediately after that, I really liked how Isabel focused on finding a solution for Marie. That's what actually kept me going. Otherwise, I would have uh, I don't think I would have liked that much without that Isabel's and John Clare's guilt.
Yeah, like so. There's such again. Everyone who knows that I love explorations of loyalty. Like I love and like Isabel's loyalty to Marie, even after she's been blood hollowed. You know how most people treat them as slaves. Though we are seen, and this is one of these many Romans were very nice to their slaves. It's like, okay, but we're like, there's still people who were owned, like property, because we are told that some of the Sangue Bloods or whatever they are, that family, some of them, because they have to sate their blood shadow, some of them pay people they like give them a bunch of money to, hey, like come sate my blood shadow. I'm not going to like blood hollow you out, but here's some money to do that. And so like, it's just nuance, you know what I mean? Like it's not like they're not all tyrants like the freaking Count de Zephyrs, right? Some of them at least try to do the best they can with the current situation in yeah, that's fine. The state of the world, you know what I mean? Like it's like, well, this is our magic, like we have to do it or it consumes us. I mean, you could let it consume you, but some people don't just like have blood sport like freaking Count de Zephyrs, and completely agree, Sal. Like, what a douche! Like,
right, he needed a bath in the miasma.
Like seriously, and then dude's sitting there dying, like he's dying from whatever illness is consuming him. Still a douche, still a huge douche. Like,
yep.
Oh my, I freaking hated him. Yeah, exactly. Like nice vampires. I freaking hated him. What did you guys think of this? Sal thinks that for Sal, we didn't spend enough time with normal Isabel.
I did not mind that actually. We got enough background that what kind of person Isabel is, where her interests lie, and what she needs. I did not mind that. I did not feel that she got thrust into the politics. At least for me, what we got was enough.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Okay, also it didn't feel super rushed to me. And of course, we knew this was going to happen because the back of the book. If you read the back of the book, I do. So I knew. I mean, nothing ever bothers me. It's like, oh, cool, it's on the back of the book. Like, all right, here we go. What do you think, Sarah?
No, I thought it's a reasonable inciting event, and I think that there was enough about her in the book that we got a really good picture of what kind of person she was at home. So we know what she was interested in, what she put her how she used her brain, the kinds of things that were important to her, what her function was at court, and all those different things. So I feel like it was fast, but I think that the author did a good enough job that you did get a sense of who she was and how that was going to change when she left. Like I could feel, or I could understand the things that would bother her once she got to the New Kingdom, and the things that she was going to lose, because I think that there was a good job done in showing us what kind of person she was in her day-to-day life, even if we didn't spend a lot of time with her there.
Yeah. And we also, I mean, again, Jean-Claude also serves as our window to Isabel. Like we hear, whenever we're looking at Jean-Claude, we hear a lot about the kind of person she is from his perspective. And, you know, he's biased, but like, I love their relationship. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also thought at first I'm like, these magic systems are cool. That's fine. But I think Craddock put some thought into the rules of these things. Like, I love the rules for the mirror, the glass walking. Like, you prevent glass walkers by scoring the mirror so that they can't manifest the reflections because there's no space big enough to get out from the scrapes. I love the stuff about the reflection. Like, you lose your, if I lost my phone, like first of all, when you go through, you're reversed, which is already
right. It's like those levels of Donkey Kong where you have to move in the opposite direction of the screen. Yes, this would be terrible.
And if you lose anything like your reflection loses anything, you come back, you'll feel it on you, but you'll never see it in a mirror. Like, you'll never see it in a mirror because it's like you lost the reflection of the thing. That's just really, really, I thought it was really interesting. Really, really cool.
It is interesting.
Actually, Pete, Blood Shadows, later we see as part of embassy, we see that King's what is the term, agent, blood shadow thing. That part I agree that it looked as cool, but when we look at in Murray's perspective, oh my god, it was horrible. So I have that bitter feeling towards blood shadow thing, so I find glass walking cool.
The King, like Grand Leon's blood shadow, which was just like, that's so scary. But I agree, K Fox. I thought it did have enough time to create tension between them. Hold on. I mean, that's true. That's true. Overall, 100%. Because I like the fact that the reason she agrees to the marriage is to get away from her dad. She's like anything's got to be better than this. Like, so she's trying to, and I do like, because Isabel it doesn't seem like Isabel has a bunch of agency early on. Like, she's trying to take it where she can, but she continues to try to find like that. Like, she is not, once things start to happen, she's not reactive. She's proactive in trying to figure out what is going on. Like, she's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to do it. Like, she's the one that confronts people and it's like, hey, right here. What's happening? What's going on? Where's freaking Jean-Claude? Where's my musketeer? Tell him, find my musketeer, please. She's spearheading the investigation, and not Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude is the one that for a lot of it, they like bounce off. Like, part of it, Isabel will be reacting to something happening, and Jean-Claude is like investigating, and then it'll reverse, and Jean-Claude's reacting to something that's going on with him, and then Isabel will be investigating. I like it. Like, I like it, and they're always worried about each other, but like you said, Anita, it's never like, oh well, I gotta help Isabel because she's helpless without me, or like he's like, well, she's smart, she'll figure it out. Like, I'm worried about her, but I mean,
I trust that she can do it.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody can get her out of it, it's her. He does. He says, if I was a terrible teacher, if she's useless without me, right? Like, that's his thing.
That's such a fantastic dialogue, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I did a bad job trying to raise you. If you still rely on me for everything, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully, like, he hopes that he helped her become independent. So, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Having like a story of her. Okay, so Pete wanted to be slower. Oh yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible. Of course, Golden Tongue Power is like OP. It's going to be OP. And I am very curious to see how, because that seems so powerful. I wonder what the rules are and how he's going to get around that. So we're going to talk spoilers because we kind of need to talk about basically everything else. Anybody, you guys have any final non-spoiler thoughts about what Craddock did well, and you know, anything else? I think we hit most of everything.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. This is your last chance, guys. We're talking about spoilers, and then we're going to. So spoilers. There you go, Mitch. I love Mitch. So, oh, you should also know. Yes, Matt. Please come watch this and let me know how you're liking it. So everyone here should know that this book last February, was on the it was on the Democratic vote for what series read along we should do in my Discord. It was this 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City and The Emperor's Blades. I voted The Emperor's Blades third. It was a ranked choice vote. It was my least favorite option. And the people chose Emperor's Blades rather than this. In fact, if Nano Tyrannus shows up in this stream, he will, as he always does, remind you that he didn't vote for this and then read the whole series and loved it. And it's like, okay, like I get it. Like no one is defending the Emperor's Blades, my dude. So all of you brought this on your head.
You put that as one of the options.
I randomed it. I spin it. I did not choose it. It's not like
Why is that?
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, and that destroyed my channel. So that's the problem. And that's why with these read-alongs, it did. Seriously. With these read-alongs, I literally said, hey, guess what, guys? This is what we're reading. Join or don't. Because you know, I'm not letting no, we're not going to vote. We're not going to vote. I could give people the illusion of choice and have them vote and then say, yeah, I don't like that, and then just override their vote. But I think that would make people mad rather than me just saying here.
But if it's a Google Doc, they don't see the number of votes each series get. You can always say that.
Yeah, that's what the whole problem was, having the vote be public. I should have just had the vote be like private, and then I would have been like, oh look, the Alchemy of Math, or the KJ Parker one won. Oh, or no one will believe that. So I'd be like, oh look, this airship one won. Oh, you know, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Hey, me too, man. Me too, Michael. Yeah, I should have rigged the vote. It's my fault. It's my fault. Like I'll be more corrupt next time. So I love this mystery. I love this, and I love first of all, I love the fact that, like, did you finish, Michael? What did you think of it? Really, really quick, before we go in this, because I don't want to continue if you haven't finished. Because if you just showed up, we're about to talk spoilers.
No, I think he did finish. I think he messaged and said that he did.
Oh, really? I missed it. Dang it. Well, if you finish it, I hope you finish it. I like that. Like, we gonna just brush over and never mention again this thing called the primer's clay or something, like builder's clay, like, or what? Like, we're just gonna mention that once and then never mention it again, Craddock. Like, that's a pretty powerful little artifact we got. But freaking Cantilvar.
Oh my God.
What a creep. I picture
so
him.
Creepy.
I have got to show you. Has anybody seen Unico and the second Unico movie? It's an old anime from like the 80s, and I always quote the roller dragon from it, where I go, ah! That's but the bad guy Kuruku is what I picture the dude looking like, except that he's made of clockwork. If anybody hasn't seen it, I'm gonna look it up in a second and share the screen. But I thought freaking Cantilvar was like weird. Like, he's got the like gurgling hump. Like, the gurgling hump is so yuck. Like, I just like every time it said his hump gurgled, I'm like, stop with the gurgling hump, please. And I didn't realize, like, I kept not picturing it, but like he has a freaking like his. It's like, has anybody seen the episode of Doctor Who with the gas masks? Are you my mummy? You know what I'm talking about? And
Yes.
when we watch the people transform and their face transforms, and the mouth gets really big to fit the thing on the outside, like that's what it is. He's got a freaking like drive-through restaurant like like speaker mic and a grill, and the lips are sewed around it. It's so freaky. Like it's
It
so,
is.
and then the part that I went is when she freaking kisses him on his. I literally went,
Yeah.
it's so gross, Anita. It is
Truly.
so nasty. Sal asked if we thought it needed a sequel. I will say that I am worried about a sequel because when I love a first book like this, and the first book is so big in scope, because like Canterville's trying to resurrect the bloody saint, like right, like he's trying to he's literally trying to provoke Armageddon and bring the savior back, right? So that's pretty high stakes. So when we get a sequel, stakes, they usually ramp them up even more, and it just becomes too much. And so I'm worried about power creep. But Leslie, and again, Leslie has only read the second book. She hasn't read the third one, but she said the second book's even better. And I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that is cool. Like that's
Nano said second book repeats the same bits, but he liked third book better.
He likes the third book better. Okay, I mean that's even better. So that's fine. But I do think the book stands well on its own. It will depend on like what the situation is. Like I hope it's another. I would much rather it hit the same beats and it be another like smallish, like small focused thing, rather than like, oh well, all the islands are going to collapse and the miasma is going to drown the world or whatever. Like the miasma can drown the city. I'm okay with that. But that makes sense. The lost city of Ru'ul, yeah, that was in the Primus Mundi. So we'll talk about predictions. But anyway, what y'all think of Cantilvar? Sarah, what do you think of Cantilvar?
Definitely creepy. I always think it's well done when you have that like man who feels that he is entitled to a woman's time and body, because it feels realistic. It never feels overblown, because gross things like that do happen. And just the fact that he has had this plot for thousands of years, and I don't know, like he is a gross villain. And I do appreciate the amount of work that went into him getting from where he was to where he wanted to be. Yes, he is a 1600-year-old simp. And what's the author? How do you say the author? Is it Craddock? Craddock?
Yeah,
Craddock. Yeah, he does a really good job. Like he doesn't feel over the top or like overly maniacal. He is gross and dramatic, but
like
it feels
said
right.
We
and
started,
I also,
Sarah. Oh, go ahead.
What?
Sarah. I was just saying before you started, like I've loved you for 2,000 years, therefore you need to sleep with me. Like, ugh.
Yes, right. Ugh. No, she doesn't. And I did like also the fact that his mind was starting to deteriorate, which makes sense, because who can stay alive for that long and hold that much information and see all these generations pass without that happening? And we don't ever really see that with people who are immortal or long lived. But think about how much your mind has deteriorated. Like I know my mind, like I've only been here for 35 years and I'm already like, how much more can I fit inside here?
I completely agree. I was rewatching my Akatar vlog because Kyle was watching it and he was quoting things that I remember saying. And one of my main complaints was like, hey, so these elves, these fairies are literally just people. They act no different than this 16-year-old, like, and yet they've been alive for hundreds of years. What? Like, why are they teenagers? Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. I agree. Like, Craddock did such a good job. Like everything Cantilvar does it's gross and it's disgusting. Like it's disgusting. Like, let's be honest, guys. The entire plan is I'm gonna take over someone's body so I can do it with the person I think is the incarnation of the saint that I worshipped 1,600 years ago. and so I can have a baby with her. And like, that's so disgusting, but it's really well done. Like, it's not out of nowhere. Like, we see every step that Cantovar takes. Like, all this freaking inbreeding and like genetic. He's literally he's a freaking puppy mill. Like, that's what he is. It's so
Right.
gross. It's so
He's got
disgusting.
instead of pea plants, he's got his people. He's like, okay, here's my different rungs of this ladder. Time to interbreed and see what characteristics we get.
It's so
And
gross.
Craddock managed to bring that typical 1600-year-old creepy person, made him realistic, like an incel, as Alan said. At the same time, he's also a nerd who maintain databases, everything, track down people.
He's got
I mean,
spreadsheets on everybody.
yeah, and every part of it, nowhere we felt. I did not roll my eyes at all. Everywhere I understood it. He made him, so relatable. I can see this person totally doing it. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And he's the person who came to Isabel's father's place, and he was the reason for Murray's blood hollowing thing. I mean,
Right?
he came like he like 12 years back he came to for proof actually that Isabel is the one true Celeste descendant.
Yes, something just hit me right now. Like, yes, like we realized later that at Isabel's birth and the one at her blood hollowing, or like that, those were both Cantovar, just in different
Yeah.
bodies. And then I just realized right now how everyone said that Cantovar used to be like, hey, you need forgiveness? Give me some cash and, oh, a blessing. Oh, Hail Mary. Oh, you're forgiven. You're absolved. Like, and, he used to go around like selling absolutions, and he was just this like priest that wasn't super devout, was just kind of like, how can I make money off of this? But then all of a sudden he wasn't. It just now hit me. That's because he wasn't Cantovar then. He was body. He was the priest that would then become Cantovar after the old Cantovar took over his body. Like,
He got body
that's so
snatched.
cool. Like, that's foreshadowing for all of this. Like, he does a really good job. Like, that's so freaking cool. And like Pete says, the mirror self, where we have young Cantovar like coming through there, how he sees himself. I love the fact that they come through how they see themselves. It's really, really cool. And like K-Fox said, it's like taking the horror of taking away bodily autonomy to an entirely new level.
The Blood Hollow does that too. Like the fact that they're in there, think about having not only someone taken over your body and like stripped away your personhood, but you can feel it. Like you're stuck in there. Like, oh, horror.
Oh yeah. Oh, like same thing with what Cantovar's doing.
Yeah.
Ugh, so
Awful.
gross.
I wanted to say something about Candlevar. Now it's lost.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Not your fault. Go ahead.
Jimmy, this is major spoilers. You should go because you should read it. You should not be here. Yeah, like I don't know. I love the mirror stuff, the showing the true self. I thought it was just really well done with the bad guy and his plan, even though it's disgusting. Like the plan is gross. The plan is ghoulish, and I think the only, and it's not that I didn't like it, but I did the buy the ebook. Regardless, Jimmy, just go away anyway. Just in case. Just in case you ended up with a copy of it. The way it is solved on the Sky Island with Gretel and all, like it all seemed very like, and I guess dude's insane, so he doesn't think about stuff enough. But I was like, how are you able to do this? Like, it seems like after 1600 years of planning, this would be less. I don't know. Like, it didn't bother me. I just thought it was really, it was convenient that, she and Gretel were able to do the stuff that they did. And you know what I mean? Like in the thing, I just thought it happened quickly. I don't know really what else you would have done, because once you're in that situation, what else can you do? But I did like, I like Julio and his crap, and he's like, yeah, I'm I'm gonna go ahead and kill myself here. So can you give me that poison? Can you give me them herbs so I can eat that poison? And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And the weird freaking omnimatons, they're automatons, whatever. It's automatons. But hold on, the mirror. That was cool. They're at the end with freaking Felix, like attacking people's reflections in glass.
In
That
the mirror,
was
yeah, that was cool.
There's so many cool things in this book.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Some
What else?
cool
What else?
and terrifying things.
I like that Julia used that water as a mirror and come to attack Cantilvar. I mean, I wish. I mean, though I wish we had got more of Julio or Julio, whatever Julio.
Julio.
Yes, I wish we had got more of that. I hope we get more of him. I mean, if he's going to be a main character, I want to see more. And I also like that. What is Julio's brother's name? He acted at Journal, that mathematician.
Alexandro or Alejandro?
Yeah, Alexander.
Alejandro.
He's a cool character, actually.
It's Principe. Or how do you actually pronounce it? All I can see is Princeps, which is freaking Latin for prince or first citizen. But it's Principe probably. That's
what I assumed it was.
Principe. Yeah, Principe Alejandro. I liked Alejandro. Did y'all figure out Alejandro's identity?
No.
Did y'all figure it out before it was revealed? I didn't either. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I didn't figure that either. And yes,
and I like that he genuinely likes his wife. Like, how nice. And it's sad that that's the bar sometimes, but I was like, oh, he likes his wife. They're married. Yeah. They still love each other.
Yeah, and I thought some stuff was set up with Xantheria or whatever her name is. Like, I thought there were some parts that were moving that didn't end up being used. Like when she spoke with whatever her name was, Xantheria or whatever, once, and then nothing really came of it. Like, I don't know if they're going to use that later, probably since Alejandro and everything, which is fine. If they're going to use it later, that's fine. Otherwise, it's like, why did we like juggle these parts? What are we doing with it, or whatever? But Michael, I think Cantilvar is the name of the most recent one. I don't know what his name was to start with, but that would be cool. Nice, Jennifer. So Jennifer got it, but I did not. I was just like, what is this?
I did.
Yes, I love
I guessed Julio was Tonskar, but I did not guess this reveal.
That was when I saw that was when I was like, wait, what? Like W-T, what? And I kept reading because I'm like, how did I miss that? I had no idea. This is why I love mystery books.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool reveals.
Yeah. And I'm not actually really good at figuring those out. Like, I'm not actually really good at figuring out reveals. So I love mystery books. Like, I didn't figure out any of the reveals in Greatcoats, Sarah. None of them. No, they were all surprising me. Every one of them. Because I'm like, oh, I get so excited. So yeah, I really liked that being revealed. Sarah, what did you think of the intrigue, the other characters, etc.?
I liked it. One thing that I didn't like, so I'll say one thing that I didn't like. When we got to what I felt was going to be the main climax of the book, and then they go into the, I don't know, the dock, whatever it's called, like where all of the, they're in all the papers and like all of the routes and all the ships,
right?
Yes. I was like, why do I need to hear every single step of this process? This is taking too long. And it was cool that they had all of that information. And it was interesting to see that he was, thinking his plan through. And this is how he's getting from like step A to step B. But I didn't need to see it. And I was like, this is supposed to be the most exciting part. And all I'm hearing about is essentially like this big room of spreadsheets that I did not want. Yes, it was a giant magical computer. I did not want to hear about the giant magical computer. I just wanted to be told that there was a giant magical computer and for them to pick the giant magical information out of it.
The reason for me that like it, I liked it because I just thought, I'm like, this is so freaking cool. This is so cool. Yeah. Like the little ships moving, like it's it's so cool. But it came at a weird time because by that point, we know that it's not going to rely on them rescuing them from the island. Like we don't even need to know where they went at this point because they're gonna reflection and come tell them anyway. You know what I mean? So it was just odd because by the time we got there, we'd already basically resolved most of the stuff in Isabel's captivity. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like if it had come beforehand when we're still like, oh, is this going to be the rescue? Like I think that might have been a good red herring, like thinking like, okay, like is Jean-Claude going to get there in time? But it came afterwards, and it's like, well, no, like there's no time. So yeah, I thought it was oddly put, but I mean, he could have just broken the chapter up instead of having this really long Isabel chapter, which he had. So that was my that was my thought, but
it was one weird pacing issue. I really, really liked when Marie came back and she's just like this all white person, like no shadow, no darkness clings to her. I feel like she's going to be a cool character.
And yeah, she's monotone. Go ahead.
But it's also sad that people treat her as abomination now. I mean, that's one little sad thing. Other than that, I really
douchey.
Yeah.
Some of these people are the worst. Yes.
Yeah. I love the fact they can't treat Isabel as an abomination because they themselves passed a law about something, like because the church said this, therefore this thing can't be considered an abomination. Therefore,
didn't you say it was like something built by the church that?
Yeah, it's the quantum metal. It's the cause of the quantum metal. Yeah, not her birth. Therefore, you can't stone them. It's your freaking metal. Like it's the builder's metal, and they're like, because they do not like her. I love the image. How is this not illustrated? Like
I know,
subpress. You need to go do your illustrated edition things for this book, because those illustrations would be awesome. The freaking the purple and yellow neon light arm, like that is so cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
And hold on, yeah, Marie. I like how Jean-Claude is also like, well, I mean, Isabel doesn't really need me anymore. You know, she's got Julio, and she's a perfectly capable adult woman. You know who does need me? Marie, who has no idea how to live after having spent 12 years as a Blood Hollow. So I like that, you know, Jean-Claude is like, all right, well, I guess she'll be my responsibility, and I'll, you know,
here's another kid for me to adopt.
Yeah, to make sure that no one stones her or kills her because she's an abomination. I love Jean-Claude, guys. He is rapidly like raising and I love that he's old. He's like in his 50s.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's old and he has old person problems and old person perspectives. Like it is very much because he's essentially her dad, and it's very much my adult child is grown and now going off and getting her life, and what do I do? And he's not weird and creepy and overly enmeshed. It's like a very natural parting and a very natural like widening of that space, and you don't see that a ton, so that was interesting.
What do you think of this? Him and Adele getting married.
Yeah.
Adele is that lady who died, right?
No, she's the one who was freaked out. She was alive, but she was at the explosion. She's the one that gave him the massage and
she died. I mean, at least it was implied that she died.
I think he was leaving her there to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what it made it seem like I have to leave.
Yeah, I was sad actually. I thought he'll have someone to share things. I was sad. Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of that torture device?
The what?
Where you trapped them inside, like where Alejandro's wife was trapped?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
The freaking, what was it? The spur something? What is that? That freaking crystal where it just like spindles them out, like
spirals you, like spaghettis you, so that you're just trapped
and split your memories or something. Oh my god!
Pete, can you go look it up? You just finished. Go to that chapter and see if you can find it. I'll look it up afterwards if I can't. I thought initially that Adele was bad because he was sitting there talking to her and like telling her all of like the stuff, and I'm like, oh man, come on. Yeah, Jean-Claude, stop. And so I like that didn't go that way, because you know that's we expect it because we've seen that before. I like it that he didn't go that way. I did not. I was also very confused because he doesn't labor the point, and they keep calling Margarita's real son. What is his name? The whipping boy.
Oscar.
What?
Tonskar.
No,
Tonskar.
yeah,
No,
but what is his real name?
Clamacchio.
Yeah,
Ah,
Clamacchio.
yes.
So Clamacchio, like it, I kept having to look back because they kept talking like they're brothers, and then like he's not her actual son, but it is. So she is his real. He is her real son. She adopted part of the plan, Julio, who is not her son, and her son was the whipping boy because she could not beat Julio, so she beat Clamacchio instead. And then he
Sad.
is the primal clay is used to make him look like Julio, but they're not actually brothers. They're just pretending to be brothers. And Alejandro kind of takes the ruse because that's how we get peace, right? Okay, good. But they're not actually brothers. And what?
Ah,
Guys,
they're not brothers. Sorry.
what else? When I bet we get more about. I thought that the live journal or whatever was going to be her dad, her real dad, when she saw the genetic thing, how the Comte de Zephyr is not actually her dad. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that
It,
was shocking. I mean, it made sense that why his dad behaved that way after
yeah,
that reveal. I did not
yeah.
expect that at
No,
all.
well, that's why I didn't suspect Alejandro as Martin de Live Journal or whatever. Like I thought it was gonna be that the Lorenzo guy or whatever. And I was wrong. So yeah, the Phantom Prison Zone, and I like that Alejandro's like, yeah, we're getting rid of that. Like screw that, tossed it over the side. Because I thought for sure we were gonna get more of that later. No, tossed over the side. And then I also thought Margarita was gonna get no. You're in the sky cages. Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was dealt very fast. You can
freaking
believe
man.
me, Pete. You can believe me.
No,
I know I don't.
it's got to be the smoke inhalation. She got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yes.
but
He's just not her son.
correct. But Julio, yes, they are
Yeah.
half brothers.
Julio is the outsider.
Julio is not related to them at all, except that.
It's Julio.
Yeah, sorry, Julio. You're right. You're right. And Leroy. Okay, so this is what we haven't talked about is the actual politicking. I loved the interactions between Jean-Claude and Leroy. Sorry, Leroy and Isabel and Leroy. Like I like that. Like Leon felt intimidating. Like he felt really like he was not pleased with a lot of things going on, and I didn't know what he was going to do with Isabel. But I like that he's like, no. I would much prefer. Like, I love the fact that he's bleeding his nobles dry by making them think there's going to be war. So they spend a bunch of money building armies, spending all this freaking treasure. And then when there's no war, they come back severely weakened and his power over them is increased. Like, he's just playing 4D chess with all these other like chumps. And it's explained why they're all young bloods. He's been doing it for 50 years, and every one of these other kings and nobles, they're all young. So he's just like crushing them. So
He's actually very smart. Even John Clad and Isabel did things against his interest. He's not like somebody whose ego got hurt and harmed them now. He kind of accepted that they have to go according, he has to go according to their plan now. He's very wise that way.
Sarah, what'd you think of Laha?
I thought he was sufficiently intimidating. Even like the part where, because Jean-Claude saved his life, right? Like that's why he was given the job that he has. And when he messes up, even he's like, well, I'll accept my death because I did mess up, but I hope he doesn't like rip my soul to shreds. Like, hopefully he'll just let me die.
Like, just kill me. Please don't make me a blood hollow. Oh.
Right. Yeah. And you can feel that he is very powerful. And it's going to be interesting because, like you said, he has manipulated his own country to keep them in a position where they need him and they can't kind of rise up against him, and to push them in the direction that he wants them to be. So I feel like he is, in fact, playing a different game, like you said at the beginning, than everybody else. And what is going to happen? Where's that going to go? Like, is there going to be some clashing? Because Jean-Claude did do exactly what he told him not to do, and it worked out in the end. So he's also the kind of king who can be like, you know what? You did go against what I said, but you accomplished a sufficient result. So I will keep you alive. But is that going to cause any tension later?
Well, Jean-Claude tries to frame it in that, yeah, but you gave me this order also to protect your interests. And if I did this thing that you told me to do, well, that would not serve your interests. So I'm doing this. So I have to do this because this was the order you gave me first. Like, he's just trying. He's trying anything. Like, please don't kill me. Like, please don't kill me. Like, until this is done. And I love the message that Hugo gives him at the end. It's like Leon told me to tell you, there's not enough horse crap. Like I don't have enough horse crap, which is saying like, yeah, well, because it's like, because he says, okay, so if you kill me, bury me, like burn me on a pile of like a massive tower of horse crap. And the king's like, like warriors being buried with their chosen weapons, because that's Jean-Claude's weapon du jour is bullcrap. It's just like trying to bluff people's through things. Because I love that dichotomy where Jean-Claude gets the intel from the plebs, from the commoners, and Isabel gets the stuff from the nobles. She knows how to navigate the nobility, and Jean-Claude knows how to navigate like the taverns and the dock workers and stuff like that. So they're just so good together. They're a great duo.
It's a good team. Yeah. And like Sal said, the fact that he can terrify everyone because he's the king's musketeer, that tells you the power that the king has. Because some people can be like, oh, I'm the king's man. And they're like, I'll deal with the king. But people are like, no.
That's
I'm
the
actually
great
not
coats,
going to touch
Sarah.
you. Yes,
that's
exactly.
Literally the opposite of the great coats.
It is the opposite of the great coats. Yeah.
Where Falco's like, I'm the king's. Oh my gosh, what is? I have to read great coats. He's a king's voice. Is that what he is? King's voice. King's. What is Falco? King's voice. He's a king's voice. Yeah. So. Anyway. No, he's the first cantor, whatever. And he's like, hey, I'm the first cantor of the king, and they're like, stab. Like, I don't care. like, who gives a crap? Yes.
Your little king in his library coughing on the books. Like, they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, it's like, oh crap! Please don't let Grand Leon like bring his shadow here and like consume me. Like, even
don't let him look at me. I'll do whatever you want. So,
even how freaking like petty and ghoulish De Zephyr is. He's even afraid of the king. Like, he won't even talk back after the king's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Cantilvar's creepy. He's dead, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, even like his jar got smashed. Like his weird, like, brain self that's in there.
Yeah. Yes.
He's dead in the reflection. Actually.
Yeah.
Camilco, what is that whipping boy's name? He killed him. He stabbed him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clamacchio.
Yeah.
I love that he went with them at the end, because the thing is, like, that makes sense. Like, your best interest, Clamacchio. Your mom's beaten you your entire life, and your mom does not give a crap about you. These people are giving you a chance to have, like, again, it's about agency. They are giving you a chance to have some agency in your life, which Clamacchio has definitely not had. He's had no agency his entire life, and he takes it. And I love that he takes it. So I'm interested to see how the Giulio Clamacchio Alejandro stuff works out. Though, if we don't ever see it, it's fine. Because like Sal said, I'd be okay if it was just like 3 standalones and I didn't have to see. Guys, I like Cantilvar. I don't really want to see Cantilvar again. I don't know what else we could do with that plan. You know what I mean? I don't want to revisit the let's resurrect the savior thing. Like, I think it would be so cool if there was a different threat. You know what I mean? Like, that's my opinion. So,
which will be interesting, because it will be going from like, oh, sorry, Anita.
It's okay, Sarah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's interesting because we'll kind of be going in reverse. Like, we're going from the big, like, universe altering plot to like a narrower plot as we go on, which is usually that's the inverse of how a trilogy is usually set up. So if it does go from giant world affecting plot to a more like intimate political scale, it would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think we still need to see other magic systems more on this golden mask thing. I think we Isabel is traveling to that borderlands to talk to them. I think we'll see more of the other kingdoms.
Have,
I think we'll get more political intrigue at the same time new villains.
have y'all read the back of the? That's the first thing I did when I finished the first one. I read the
Oh,
back.
oh, oh.
Immediately. I went and read the back
Sure.
immediately. Have you read the back, Sarah?
I
Do you
haven't
read
because
the back of books?
I read it. I read the ebook. So if I had the book, I would have read the back of it. but I
Okay,
just
so you
read
like
the
that
ebook.
the backs of books?
Yep.
I'm gonna read the back of book to you, and you can because then we can make predictions from here. So, Isabel de Zephyrs has her wits, her newfound magic, and her headstrong determination to outwit her rivals in court. Jean-Claude has his sword, his loyalty, and his experience as the king's musketeer to outfight anyone in the streets. Everything changes after political undercutting causes Isabella to lose her noble status, and Jean-Claude is drawn into a web of gruesome murders by someone called the Harvest King. Together, can these two outmaneuver their enemies, save their friends, and thwart a plan that could change l'Empire forever?
Harvest King, like kind of harvesting organs, bodies.
It's gonna be like a Jack the Ripper. Like he's gonna be going after a serial killer. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know what he's gonna do. It's gonna be. I have no idea. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I'm excited.
It's a good back of the book because it doesn't even really give major spoilers for the first one. Like if you read the back of that one, sometimes you read the back of a second book and you're like, no, I didn't mean to pick this one up, and it's sadness,
exactly.
But...
So what kind of prediction do you guys have for going forward? Sarah, what do you think's going to happen? What name anything you expect to happen going forward?
I expect it will be more romance focused going forward because I feel like they set it up to be a will they, won't they at the end of the first book.
I actually like that. That didn't bother me. She's like, come back in a year. I got stuff to do. Like, I can't marry you right now, dude.
Yeah, which is a good and like a normal choice to make when your life has just been threatened and the whole world is collapsing and you're not really sure if you want to have a baby because you don't want to have a weird experience with childbirth like that. So I thought it was good. It was not the like jump into everybody's arms scenario that you usually get. So I think that it will probably be more romance focused this time. I do think Marie is going to be a bigger character. I think that she was brought back for a reason and that she's going to have a role to play. So I'm expecting more from her in the second book.
That would be yeah. I agree. We're going to see Marie. I liked how the Cantovar literally did cure. Like he did what he said. Like he was going to do it. And I didn't catch, like I should have caught. I didn't understand when she was figuring out, like, wait a minute, like what? Like he did it before. I thought he was lying. Like I thought he was being a liar. Yeah. But no, he actually did that crap. And I also like that it has to be in the dark because otherwise the shadow like feeds on the light or whatever. So it just seems well thought through. Anita, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, Blurb did say that they have to save their friends. So maybe Julio will get kidnapped by the Harvest King, or Alejandro will get kidnapped. I don't know. I do think Marie will have a bigger character because she's not on the Blurb. So
that's true.
Yeah, I think Marie will be in it. Sal thinks Julia's gonna be sidelined. It's gonna be an Indiana Jones thing where it's a new love interest every movie. What do I predict? I don't know. I don't know. I predict that Jean-Claude will once again be able to get around suspiciously well with a grievous injury. Like in this book, I'm like, dude, you're like, let me explain to you about your leg being hurt. You are not running from nobody, dude, because this happened. It's not like it was a month, bro. It was like 4 days ago. Like, he gets around shockingly well for having, something bad having happened to his leg. But again, it's fantasy. I don't actually care about that. Like, I'm like, this is way cooler. Like, run, go. What are we gonna see? I think we're still gonna. I think Leroy's going to get assassinated in one of these books. I think if not this one, I think the third one. I think Leon's going to bite it. Uh, what else? I think we will get more Xanthia, whatever her name is. I don't know why we were ever introduced to her if we're not going to see her. Maybe we'll just get letters, like maybe they're friends now or whatever. I don't. Yeah, we will definitely see the Golden Tongue Kingdom in one of them for sure. If not this one, then the next one. I think we'll see another magic system because there are like 7 left. I think 2 are gone. I think there were 8 to start with. There are 2 that have died out. Like we know that 2 have died out. So there are more than just the 3 we have. And then the secret fourth one that they thought was, that is a saint power or whatever. I really hope that I don't want look, this elder race was hidden away and now we see them. I don't want a second founder or whatever those freaking people are called that were descended from the saints. I don't want that. Like, please don't do that. I don't know. Oh, there were 10 to start with. Well, there's only 8 then. We'll definitely get some more miasma somewhere. In one of the books, we'll get some miasma. That's for sure. And we'll learn about what the gloom is, which I guess is just the dark part of the thing. I don't know. I hope for Sarah's sake, there's like 6 more spreadsheet rooms with like moving
with little models. And we can check everyone.
I hope.
The title does say sorcery. I think we do explore magic system in this.
Cool. I hope. Yeah. I hope that. I hope the first half of the book takes place in the spreadsheet room, and it's like a very detailed, like a detailed account of the movement of each ship, and they're writing it down like in real time. So this ship moved from this coordinate to. That's what I hope. That's what I hope happens. Dang, Sal thinks we're gonna get Chat GPT magic. That'd be awesome. Any final thoughts, guys? I really enjoyed this book. I'm hoping. I agree that this book is not what I expected it to be. Like I got something different than what I expected going into it. I think I also thought there would be more duels and airships. Yeah, I think I did, but it was.
That is very true. We do not want that.
I did not expect a mystery thing actually. That was a cool, though we did not get more swashbuckling things. I'm okay with mystery. And one last cool thing I want to add is I like that John Claude was saved by Dujournal or Alejandro. I mean that bromance is I really liked what their scenes.
Yeah, I liked their teaming up. I agree. I laughed at a couple places. I think Jean-Claude's attitude about things is funny. And I like that, again, everything was unraveled. A lot was unraveled because Cantilvar, and we didn't touch on this, Cantilvar has lived for 1,600 years. Never in a million years thought that freaking Isabel could understand what that book said, like,
right?
And that's how she pulls off the ruse, is by speaking Saint's tongues. Like, well, she couldn't possibly know what that is. The only other solution is that it's Celine or Celestine talking to, or Celeste talking to me. Oh, my darling, that was my least favorite scene of the whole book. It's so gross because she's just having to be like, oh, I've been waiting for you. And he's like, well, you took so long. And I'm like, incel, dude. like it.
Oh my god.
Oh, like I just feel so gross with his thing. It came up in my it first came across it in my quest for Flintlock Fantasy. It's on my spreadsheet. So yeah. So Sarah, I'm glad you read it with us. That's awesome. Are you going to read the second one?
Yep, I'll read the second one.
I'm finishing Taipan, and then I'm going to read the second one. It'll, it's probably not going to be into the beginning of June, which Oh well, I'm slow. But yeah, Anitha, when are you starting the second one?
Maybe a week later.
Okay.
I mean, I just started Wheel of Time, and I have 200 pages left in Dragon's Path. So after Wheel of
Okay.
Time, I'll read.
Well, all right. Well, this time, if you read it before me, don't be like, "Hey, Alan, this really cool guy is the villain." Who does
That's
that?
why
Not
I'm
what
pushing
she
it to
said.
next. That's why I'm pushing it to next week. I'll give you 1 week time. 1 week.
Thanks.
There you go. Get through it.
How it? Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you guys will read the next one. Leslie says she might join us for that third one because she hasn't read the third one. I'm like, how do you read the first two and not? Well, I mean, I've done the same thing with Blackwing. So anyway, so guys, it's very late. It's like 9. Is it 10:30 for you, Sarah?
10:30. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, we're gonna go so that Sarah can leave because it's a ridiculous time for her. Note that it's 10:30 for her. Everyone else is on a normal time. She is on 10:30 because she lives on an island in an igloo. So,
True.
thank you guys for joining us. Remember to make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification. It really helps out the channel, guys. So you're notified anytime I post new content. If you guys don't mind, just share this with your friends. Every one of you shares it with one person. That's 23 people who can see this video in addition. So
It really helps the channel.
yeah, it really helps the channel, guys. Really helps out the channel. Watch it maybe 2, 3, 4 times, guys. And yeah, I forgot. I can't even take it seriously anymore. So anyway, guys, I'll thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back next month with the next one. Bye. Oh, and follow them if you're not. Like, comment, subscribe.